this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, I went grocery shopping 2 days ago, and I just thought I'd have a little discussion about that because it's watermelon season. And I like watermelon, but I make videos about watermelon from time to time, not because I like it so much, or not just because I like watermelon, but because I don't understand how people get stigmatized for liking a food that is healthy for their bodies. But that's what has happened in the United States. Black people who like watermelon have been stigmatized. Oh, that's a big thing. Make jokes about black people eating fried chicken and watermelon as if we're the only people in the world that eat fried chicken and watermelon, or if we're the only people in the United States that eat fried chicken and watermelon. Because here's the thing, if we were the only ones eating it, they wouldn't even be available in America if it was just something that we liked. What's also interesting is that I look at food markets all over the world on YouTube. I look at different cultures. I like to know what they eat, how they prepare food. If you look at a food market from anywhere in the world where they have fruit, you're going to see some type of melon. And I'm going to make a wild guess and say that they eat the melons because they're healthy. Because there are countries in the world, I am told, where their governments don't even support you eating a lot of processed foods as they do here in America. So that maybe that's why black people are stigmatized for eating a perfectly healthy fruit. Maybe it's too healthy for Americans. Maybe the enslaved people who did like watermelon recognized it as a real food as opposed to what white people were eating, which was a lot of wild meat. Not only wild turkey and rabbit and deer, but also bear meat. Years ago when I taught the second grade, I used to read to my students, which is very important. I was reading the series Little House on the Prairie. I think it was Little House in the Big Woods. I believe that was the name of the book, where they were talking about Pa Ingalls bringing home meat, bringing home these wild animals. And one day he brought home a bear. And the little girl said they love bear meat. See, I'm pretty sure Africans didn't eat bear meat, and I'm also pretty sure that the enslaved people didn't eat bear meat. One of the reasons that so many foods that are in America now originated in Africa was because the enslaved people would not eat the foods that the white people were eating. They had to bring their foods on those slave ships because they were dying, because they were malnourished, and they would not eat what those white people were eating because they were trying to also stay within their dietary habits and routines that they had established for thousands of years. So maybe it's the case that watermelon is just too healthy a food for many white people. So white people in America have made black people eating watermelon into a worldwide joke. Yet and still, they are growing the most watermelons. And the question would be, why? They don't have any slaves on their plantation eating watermelon because it's refreshing and it has a lot of water, so they don't have to run back to the well and draw water. They could walk across the cotton field to the watermelon patch, bust open a watermelon and eat it right there, get refreshed and get a lot of water in their body and fiber, and they're ready to go back to work. So what are they growing all these watermelons for? Because they like watermelon too. Because it would be stupid to be growing a whole lot of foods that you don't want to eat. Okay? So watermelon season is up on us. And my husband and I both like watermelon. And we're going to eat it until the season is over. And happily eat it. Because it is a very good fruit and very healthy for the body. Now, I will acknowledge that in the traditional sense it's a little early for watermelon because our dad told us you don't eat watermelon before Memorial Day and you don't eat it after Labor Day. But in this commercial society that we live in, and because there are so many people that like watermelon, they rush it. They call them hot house. I think they call them hot house or something like that. But they rush them. They rush to get them to market as soon as they can. Just like they do bananas. They're out of season probably, and they're being rushed to ripen so people will buy them, because many people recognize these fruits as being healthy and good for the body. But watermelon has become something like a black food, like soap and water. Did you hear those white people on that YouTube channel the other day talking about using a bath cloth to take a bath is for poor people? See, people don't even understand how ignorant they sound. Because basically, and they also said they don't wash their legs. They wash with the bar of soap, not with a cloth, because they make that as being dirty because you wash it with the cloth. Well, you know what? That's what Tide and Gain and all these washing powders and washing liquids are for you to wash things when they get dirty. So these people are revealing things about themselves by trying to make it seem like they're so sophisticated and better than black people, because they started out saying that black people use bath cloths. And so then we understand why, as somebody pointed out, now we know why you came here with all these diseases and wiped out so many societies, especially here in the United States. Because some of these diseases come from filth and not properly washing yourself and washing your hair. Because look at the head lice. Wonder why they get those head lice. That's something that's growing out of their scalp. So what? I mean, is that because you don't? It's just crazy. But you don't see black people making fun of them or making jokes about head lice or about them not washing, knowing how to take a bath properly. Maybe, Cynthia G or somebody like that might point out that you really don't know how to take a bath. Your body is not clean just because it's white. You need to wash your body. No matter what color you are, you need to wash all of your body. And here's another thing that people like that may not know. If you don't take a bath, you will stink. Serena Williams revealed, and I thought that was kind of odd, that she couldn't stand the way her husband smelled when she was pregnant. And she just announced that she's pregnant again, so we'll see how it goes this time around. Now, that speaks about soap and water. That has nothing to do about him being a terrible person. That's all about soap and water. Good grief. But anyway, we don't make fun of that because we see it as stupid. I think we see it as stupid. I know I do. And I'm going to acknowledge that I began life, just like most black people of my age, hearing about white people, and I thought white people were really smart. And it has taken me getting to retirement, at least, to realize that that was wrong. That was a part of the indoctrination that we received in the United States that most of us still have not acknowledged. That these people are not smart. I don't even think most of them are average in intelligence because they haven't had to be. They've been able to get by on being white, and it's all right because it's all white. And we now know that that is incorrect. Now I'm going to get back on track talking about watermelon. I started out by saying I went grocery shopping yesterday. And guess who had the most watermelons in their carts? And it was white people. It's always white people. When the season starts and you go in the store and you see that watermelon bin, you're going to see white people standing over there, some of them thumping the watermelon. Because one day I asked the white guy, I said, well, what's the difference? How do you know? And he was saying, well, it sounds more solid or something like that. And that means it's ready. Because sometimes you open up the watermelon and basically all you see is a lot of soft material, rot really, and it's either too ripe or sometimes it's too green. So he's saying, you thumping and you get that certain sound, it means it's just right. This is a white man, as I said before, just to make it clear that we're not the only ones that eat watermelon. But anyway, we have to fight so many stereotypes till sometimes you think, what battle am I going to choose today? Because we've always been up against so much stupidity, but this is absolutely stupid. And believe it or not, last year when I posted a video about watermelon and I said that it came from Africa, the enslaved people brought it from Africa, an African came on my channel and said watermelons don't grow in Africa. Well, they may not grow in West Africa, and I'm pretty sure this was a West African because they're the ones who have so much criticism of black Americans. And we don't get into criticism of them because it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't matter. But anyway, there is a group of black Americans who call themselves Hebrew Israelites that moved to Dimona, Israel. And somebody was doing a video about them, and they had a whole truckload of watermelons that they were throwing out, and I guess they were having some kind of event. And there were watermelons galore. So that was going to be an important part of whatever they were doing. And the Hebrew Israelites that moved from the United States back to Israel tried to return to the original way of eating. So I'm going to say that one of their original foods was watermelon. So that might prove to us once again that we did migrate from East Africa to West Africa. So maybe West Africans don't eat watermelon. I know another West African who thought that was a food for the poor. Like, West African. Like I said, I ain't going to even get into that about them. But the Hebrew Israelites are trying to return to their ancient way of living and eating. So maybe, again, I'm saying, maybe we didn't come from West Africa. Maybe maybe those of us who came through the slave system migrated from East Africa into West Africa. Because when I looked it up, it said that watermelon originated in the Sudan, and that is also East Africa. So that West African might be onto something. They don't have it in, but that person said in Africa. Like, they live all over Africa and know everything about Africa. But anyway, I did look it up. It said that watermelon originated in Sudan, which is East Africa. But anyway, I like watermelon. And I know that the enslaved people liked watermelon. And I know the reason they liked the watermelon because it had a lot of water and they were working out in the hot sun. And it made sense. And it was healthy. So I will continue to eat watermelon. But I'm going to continue to keep a tab on who else is eating watermelon. Because people run their mouth and keep the spotlight on other people, black people, so nobody will look at them and what they're doing. So I think that's what that's all about. One of the good things about being black in America is that every negative thing that you can think of about us has already been exposed and put out there in the public for everybody to see. So the only step that's left for us is healing, because there's no hiding place. There's almost nothing that white people know about black people that might be negative that they have publicized all over the world for everybody to know and consume. There's no secret in black America if white people know about it, if it's something bad. Now, if it's something good, we have to put it out there. And that's how come I'm doing this video about watermelon, because that's something good that they have turned around into something negative for their own purposes. But we have nowhere to go now but up. So it's time for us to start healing. And so I say, ode to watermelon, enjoy. It's summertime, the living is easy, it's plenty of watermelon. Well, plenty of watermelon will be available in a few weeks. And I say, enjoy. Enjoy, have a good slice of watermelon on me because it's good and it's healthy. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.